Nettie Dautrell, who put in many hours day after day keeping his aircraft in flight-ready status. And then there's Bob, another of our crew chiefs, who also served 2 tours in Vietnam. There's no way I could forget Bob Steinberg. He's the only man in this room who crashed in my helicopter with me in the jungles of Vietnam. With us today, representing the proud Marines who took the fight to the enemy on the ground, is Mike Wagner. Mike is what the air crews lovingly referred to as a grunt, or a ground pounder. When they called, we answered the call. Mike was a severely wounded hero in medevac by then Lieutenant Pat Donovan. Also here are 10 special men who fought the battle and to this day fight their own ongoing battles, and whom I'm honored to know and call friend. And Gerald Reed, a man I met 10 years ago, who took it upon himself to initiate the process, which 6 years later is the presentation of this award. Thank you, Gerald. And last but not least, my wife, Marcy. Lynn Hopper, Director of Constituent Services for Senator William Cassidy, and Lynn Dunstan, Constituent Services Representative for Congressman Garrett Graves, who I'm sure most of you know by now. Their diligence, persistence, and pit bull attitude is the reason this honor came to fruition. And if I may, my son Brandon and my daughter Cassie, their families who make me proud every day to be their father and their grandfather. Ladies and gentlemen, today, in fact the last month leading up to today, has been a most humbling experience. From this day forward, I will be called a hero. But who, in addition to those already mentioned, are my real heroes? On May 9th, 1969, I merely had a job, which I like to think of as part of a tag team. The CH-46 aircraft in which we flew that day had been worked on through the night, repairing damage and normal maintenance by the crew chiefs and a group of dedicated men who manned the night shift. That's where the tag team began. Before it could be cleared to fly, it was handed off to avionics, hydraulics, metal shop, the armory, and finally maintenance. Through the night, every aircraft was repaired and ready for flight the next morning by a group of unsung heroes. At daylight, the aircraft was finally handed off to a pilot and co-pilot, a complete crew of 2 gunners, an onboard corpsman, and a crew chief. Each man in the crew, as part of a tag team, had a job to do. It was like a well-oiled machine, a symphony played out day after day, night after night, by the courageous men of our squadron known as the Purple Foxes. Each one a true hero. All too often unheralded, but heroes still the same. On one particular night, May 26, 1968, I was working on my aircraft until about 2 in the morning with my first mechanic and my best friend, Corporal James E. Johnny Johnson.